Immanuel Kant is famous for his focus on reason and ethics, so I was intrigued recently when I learned that a group of Kant scholars faced a unique ethical problem. It all started when Russia invaded Ukraine.
It was unprovoked, but this is what Russian President Vladimir Putin unleashed on Ukraine as the sun came up this morning.
The Kant scholars had planned to celebrate his 300th birthday in 2024 in what is now known as Kaliningrad, Russia. That's where Kant was born. The scholars organizing the event are part of the Kant Gesellschaft. That's the original Kant Society that was founded in Germany to spread the Enlightenment philosophers' ideas.
Everything was fine so far, and then the war started.
Dietmar Heidemann is its primary chairman.
I got emails in from all major Kant societies worldwide asking us what was going to happen, and then after a few days actually asking us to really revoke the decision.
And to move the conference out of Russia because of the regime's aggressions against Ukraine and its citizens. But Heidemann got other emails that said that they should keep it there.
I received these emails from Russia too, so do not revoke, just 1 or 2 weeks and then things are settled.
Some Kant scholars wanted to wait and see if the conference could be salvaged. They worried that pulling out would further isolate their Russian peers, who were already in danger of blowback from their government. The Kant Gesellschaft's dilemma is one we all face in our globalized society. Should we isolate Russia because of the actions of its authoritarian regime, or should we engage with its citizens? It's one thing to boycott products, but should academics, who work in the realm of ideas, sever ties to Russian universities as well?
I mean, the vision was to be doing something kind of good.
Andrew Schignell is head of the North American Kant Society.
I had this kind of missiological feel to it, where we should go into places that are intolerant in certain ways and try to speak our minds freely, as long as we're allowed to.
To be clear, all of the Kant scholars I talked to for this story are against the war. But other philosophers worry that the Russian government would use the event to promote the idea that the scholars support its quote-unquote special operation. After all, the government did force the rector of Kaliningrad University to sign a statement supporting the war.
I think Kant would have found that very problematic. He would have a really hard time signing a statement saying something that he absolutely didn't believe in. I mean, it's akin to lying in some ways. And Kant is, of course, a very famous opponent of lying under all circumstances.
On March 15th, the North American Kant Society finally issued a statement. It called on the Gesellschaft to relocate the conference, saying that Russia's unprovoked attack violated international law. 11 days later, the board of the Kant Gesellschaft voted to move the conference to Bonn, back in Germany. It condemned Putin's regime and its actions. At the same time, it declared support for Ukrainians, as well as Russian scholars who oppose the war. Vadim Chali, a professor at the Immanuel Kant Baltic Federal University in Kaliningrad, has spent the past 3 years setting up the conference. He was disappointed by the Gesellschaft's decision.
Obviously, a lot of our efforts were made redundant, and that could mean that Kant scholarship might become redundant.
He worries that the events leading up to the conference are symptoms of a more sinister development.
I would not place the blame on those who made the decision to move the Congress, because it's a more general process that is unfolding, and I think it's general anti-modern attitude that is prevailing nowadays in Russia. And Kant is, of course, a modern philosopher.
I asked him how it feels being in Kaliningrad right now.
A bit claustrophobic. We are a landlocked, a piece of land that is isolated and surrounded by obviously not very friendly neighbors, not very friendly at the moment, and the future is uncertain. I'm not so much worried about myself, but I have 3 kids, and I'm worried about their future.
Perhaps we can take a lesson from the Kant philosophers. We should talk and reason with individuals in Russia, even as we condemn the brutality carried out by their leaders. For Philosophy Talk, I'm Sarah Lai Sturland.